What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode on the channel. My name is Ben Reeve, and this is the Hoop Show, and this is the 18th of October 2023. And there's a fair bit to talk about. It's trade week in the AFL at the moment. It's coming to an end at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Who knows what will happen between now and then? Will the Asava Radaglia trade happen? We'll get to that in a second. Will any other trades happen from Geelong's point of view? Are we? Is there a player there that we maybe haven't been speaking about that might be coming in? I don't know. Is there a Jack Billings or is there, heaven forbid, a Jack Gunston? A 40-year-old bloke. I don't know how old he is, but he's that. I think we want to probably go a little bit younger. So there's a fair bit happening there. There's a few Cats players that have re-signed in the last couple of days. So some older blokes over 30 have re-signed for another year or so. And there's another baby cat on the way. Mitch Duncan and his wife are expecting their fourth child. So there's a fair bit on the show to cover today. But let's start with the trade week. It's not been a big trade week for Geelong. It's fair to say. The most of the talk about the Cats really has been about how difficult we are to work with. In other words, we're not bending over and just giving Port Adelaide whatever they want for a Rasava Radaglia. We're digging in as you should. Running a business, you shouldn't just give up your assets for nothing. I've heard the talk about 60-40, 40-60 sort of outcomes, whatever. I'm happy with that, but and saying that as well, there's no hurry. There's no clock ticking for us. If we want to wait to the last minute to get rid of Asava, that's great. We're used to it trying to bring players in. If you remember back to the day trying to get Gary Ablett Jr. back to the Cats after a bit of a time out at the Gold Coast Suns, that went down to the wire as well. So look, I expect, my gut's telling me the Asava deal gets done at the last minute, and after all the talk and all the playing around and all that stuff, we still probably walk away with pick 25. And anyway, we get a reputation for being really, really difficult to work with. Who knows? I'd love to get a straight swap for Ollie Lord from Port Adelaide. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I really don't think that's going to happen. I wish it did. I wish it does. I hope it does. But it sounds like Port's digging in there and they just want to give up picks. That's really all they're interested in. There's a possibility that Port might get a future second rounder today at some stage and might give up that along with the pick 25 for Asava, but I think they're going to they'll back themselves to pick him up in the national draft or the preseason draft. I think the talk is that might be going to the national draft with all the other 18-year-old kids, possibly, but who knows? One potential draftee, an under 18-year-old or 18-year-old draftee that could be coming Geelong's way, not this year, not the next year possibly, but in years to come. Harley Reid, welcome to the Cats, Harley Reid. Officially, welcome to the Cats, a lifelong Geelong supporter, Harley Reid. It's just a matter of time. Why would you bother picking him number one? Why don't you just let it roll out to pick 8 and then Geelong can just pick him up? Because that's where he's coming. We all know that's where he's going. So just, clubs, if you want to do the smart thing, just skip the Harley Reid stuff. You won't, but skip the Harley Reid stuff, and we'll have him at pick 7 or 8 or whatever we are now. I can't remember where we're up to. I think it's pick 8 now, where it's got to with the compensation picks and all that sort of stuff. Don't get me started there. Oh, look, I'll have a little bit on that. I'm not happy about it. Club just absolutely screws itself with their on-field and off-field performance, and they get rewarded with pick 3. And an end of first round pick as well. All this, it's just ridiculous what the AFL's giving North Melbourne, and they're just getting rid of it straight away because these compensation picks that they get, they expire after a period of time. The AFL reserves the right to give them away, and that's what's happened. So they've decided to let's cash them in now before and get something out of it now, and then let the other team that's picked them up worry about that. So anyway, I don't know. What did we get for Gary Ablett? I can't even remember what we got when he left. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not happy with it. But what are you going to do? All right. So trades talk at this stage. There's not really a lot to say. Maybe by 7:30 tonight. I might have gone 12 hours too early with this show, but that's okay. Maybe by 12:30 tonight. West Coast have given us the number 1 pick, and we'll use that on Harley Reid maybe. No, but Asava Radaglia most likely will be in Port Adelaide colours at the end of the night. And we'll be holding pick 25, possibly also a future second rounder, maybe. Or maybe we'll do something else. We'll swapping of future picks and all that stuff. It'll get messy, but I'd say that's probably how it plays out if there's time to do it in the end. sounds like Geelong's quite happy just to let it play out. And to me, it sounds like they want to convince Radicale to stay. They're giving him every opportunity to change his mind. He's away with his mates. I think they're in Italy or somewhere at the moment, overseas anyway, having a great old time. How could you leave your mates? Maybe they're just saying if he's had a change of heart, and then there's no hurry to make that call, really. Some other news, Tom Hawkins has re-signed, as well as a few other Cats. Zach Toohey, Gary Rowan, and Reece Stanley have all re-signed. Four 30-year-olds have extended for 1 year. Let's say 1 year, but happy to go around again. We've brought back a former premiership player in Stephen King as an assistant coach at the Cats. So good to see the return of the King. Stephen King comes back. That should... I think that'll be good for us. I think we needed a bit of a change after last year in the assistant coaching ranks. So out goes Sean Grigg. I don't know if we've lost someone else. I haven't heard much about Daisy Pearce. I expect Daisy won't hang around at Geelong forever. I still feel like her heart's with Melbourne. I think she'll go, but I haven't heard any other major changes in terms of her or any other ones just yet. So again, I might be missing someone. So who knows? But yeah, look. Quickly on the Clayton Oliver stuff, just to sort of finish out the show, just a quick one today. Pretty sad what's happening there with him, unfortunately. It's not looking good health-wise for him. Who knows what's going on? Yeah, there's talk on socials and all that, but I don't know what to believe and whether it's really my place to weigh into it too much anyway, and I'm not going to repeat some of the stuff I've heard anyway. But regardless, he's a young bloke. Well, compared to me anyway, he's a young bloke who still got a life ahead of him, and hopefully he sorts some things out. Whether he's going to be able to play AFL footy again, or at least get to the levels he was, or efforts at Melbourne. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised though if he needs some time away to get things right. And footy's probably not the number one priority. Unfortunately, I know if you're a Melbourne supporter, you probably want it to be, but it's not always the number one. So thankfully, Geelong, for the most part, has kept its players pretty healthy throughout the journey and in a good place. Yeah, there's probably stories we don't hear about and all that sort of stuff as well. And there's a couple of some older players from years gone by that have gone through some things as well. Very big name, but yeah, it happens. They're human beings like the rest of us, and unfortunately, when you give a bunch of young guys a bit of money or young girls a bit of money, they're going to spend it. So. And not everyone's as good at managing their health and managing their decisions, even with a lot of supports around you. It's a tough one. Anyway, so look, just to quickly touch on, before I finish up the show, just to touch on, and I will do a separate video, but congrats to the AFL women's team. The Cats defeated Fremantle on the weekend to go 4-3. So we're back on the winning side of the ledger again. It's good to see. There's a few games to go. 3 games to go to see us out. All teams outside of the 8. So on paper, we should win. I still feel like we're going to drop one of these games, though. I don't think any of these games in the AFLW for these middling teams are walkovers anymore. So just because you're ranked slightly higher in the ladder doesn't mean you should be expecting to win. So I think we just need to play really well, and hopefully we've fixed a few of those issues in our game that were a bit of a worry. There's those trends of falling away after quarter time and spending all that. Seems like we were spending all our petrol tickets early, but as I said, I'll do a separate video for that. Thanks for watching, as always. Go Cats, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye.